Good morning. Well, for me, good early evening for 3D Jeb.
Yes.
I guess we'll go with that.
You can just call me Brian. That'll work. People
Okay.
know me by my handle name, but my name is Brian, so that'll work.
Sitting on the mantle of the world, we were just talking about how Jimmy D screwed up again and missed a pack sale that sold out super fast. If you haven't plugged into Realm NFT, you can get a basic backdrop. A couple weeks ago, we did a live show, but we're gonna talk about some updates that have just happened over the last week or two, including the pack sale. So, welcome to the show, Brian. For people who don't know, Realm NFT is an actual working game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which isn't always the case for gaming on the blockchain.
Yes.
So just give us a quick rundown of what is Realm NFT, and then we'll have a peek at the trailer.
So do a quick website drop. realmnft.io gives a pretty good description, but the game essentially is a futuristic world setting where it seems these past couple of years futuristic is almost an arbitrary term because we're starting to see a lot of it, but the world is disrupted by chaos, meteor strikes, famines, diseases, and there's a secret organization known as Realm that is pulling together groups of leaders and helpers, and it's our responsibility as players to assign leaders, train helpers to complete missions to solve issues like political uprisings, resource shortages, and the game. And you can kind of see a screenshot of it behind me is broken up into 6 different regions. And so as you complete missions in the game, you'll level up and you'll unlock additional regions. And as you do that, the game becomes harder. The game becomes more strategic, unlike other blockchain games where you just click and you hope for the best. This one has a lot of thinking involved. And in the game itself, as you're completing missions and assigning region leaders, you're earning our in-game token, which is RLM, which is utilized in-game for several things, which we can talk about later. But Season 2, we've added quite a bit of usability to that token. So yeah, it's a Wax blockchain game, and like you said, it's an actual game. It's not just a clicker. So you can play for just the fun of it, but there is the play to earn aspect and collectible NFTs, which we may not have enough time to talk about all of it today, but that's kind of the best summary I can give.
Well, yeah, let's dive in and have a look at the trailer, and then I'll give you my thoughts on it, and we'll dive into some of the new stuff that's happening. So
Great.
Here we go. I mean, for me, I'll tell you. So the last time that we had somebody from Realm on the channel, we actually did a little bit of a demo. We went and we played the game. So there's a couple really interesting things here that I just want to point out. First, it's a free to play game.
Yes.
But you can actually, level up with the NFTs and be rewarded with NFTs and probably progress through the missions and things faster. For me as well, it has like really deep undertones to like kind of the few games that I did play when I first, got into gaming and got a computer, like SimCity or almost even throwback to like Risk. And I mentioned there was another really interesting board game that my brother introduced me to, where actually you didn't win against the other players, you won against like the game itself, and you had to like collect with other players. So like I want to know, what goes into the development of a game like this, right? Like, because it wasn't easy, I don't think, right?
So that would be a question that would need to be directed towards Buzz or Ryan. They are the developers. That it's their brainchild. But like you, when I first saw this game, because I'm a community moderator and a player myself, but the thing that attracted me to it was I told my wife, I was like, hey, they don't have a game yet, but I'm reading their white paper, and this sounds like it's Risk, but it's on a blockchain. So I know one of the things that we get asked a lot in our Discord server, especially, is the RAM usage, the CPU usage, and I know a lot of that was resolved. I mean, it's a game, so you can imagine there's going to be a lot of back end that needs to be maintained, but a lot of those transactions, those blockchain transactions that take up so much RAM and CPU on end users, it's just not there because we're handling most of those transactions on the back end. And so we have a great development team. They're constantly pushing out updates, sometimes immediately when they're discovered. And they're always taking feedback from our community. So I would say this game, as it sits right now, is not the same game that was released in beta, because the developers really are listening to their users, which also makes it extremely unique.
Yeah, and so you guys have just also launched season 2. It came out May 25th, and it runs for 6 weeks.
Correct.
You had the season 2 pack sale. Tell us about how that went, other than it was pretty good.
So the cool thing about our pack sale, it was all done in game. Some previous sales that we had were on the Nifty block drops, and so we hosted the entire pack sale in season 2. So between season 1 and season 2, the game was left online, so users could continue to generate realm and level up their leaders. But we actually launched the pack sale in game, and the unique thing about it was it started at 50,000 RLM, which is the in-game token, and every 12 hours the price would drop 5,000 RLM, and it was going to drop until the packs sold out. So as soon as it went live, as you can expect, people grabbed them, whether they were looking for the number 1 mint for the new equipment types that were listed inside of it, or whether they just couldn't wait to see what the new NFTs look like. But several sold out, and then they progressively sold out pretty consistently every 12 hours. And then once it hit that sweet spot that everybody was comfortable with the price, I think an hour later, it jumped from about 260 to all 500 just gone. So they are sold out, and right now the only way to get a hold of some of these new NFT types is on the secondary market, or by using your RLM in our store in game. So it was I think it was successful to say the least.
So yeah, I think it's a really cool idea to actually have it done on the platform as well. I don't, it might have been done before, but I don't recall any gaming platforms really doing it that way. Usually, you're directed, on Wax to Atomic Hub or at NFT Blocks.
Sure.
For the drop,
Yeah,
so.
it's it was definitely, in my opinion, very unique. And like you, I don't know if anybody else has done something similar, but I think the way it was done, especially with you using our native token and using the decreasing value, I haven't seen or participated in anything that comes remotely close to it.
It's got almost this weird, almost Dutch auctiony feel to it, but again,
Yeah.
you have to kind of get into the game to be able to do it. I'm not sure. So again, for people who don't know, you can come here and you can pop into the game by going to playrealmnft.io. And you can get in and you can play right away. You don't need to have the packs. You don't need to have any of the tokens. Actually, one of the beautiful things about it is you can actually earn Realm from the beginning without investing anything, if you so choose, if that's the route that you take, right?
Yes, there are missions that can give Realm bonuses off the bat, and I don't know if it was just my string of luck, but the first 4 missions I had in season 2 had Realm as a reward, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, that's really cool. And like, again, we did the demo, so I'm not going to do it this time. We already did it on the last one. I'll drop the link in the comments if you want to see. But it's really easy to get started. All that you need to do is connect with your Wax Cloud wallet or your Anchor wallet. Wax Cloud wallet, if you're new to Wax, is probably one of the easiest wallets that you'll ever use. I'll drop a tutorial in the comments as well that we use for our Uplift World games, but it's really easy. It's a social login wallet. You can register with the traditional email. You can sign up. God help you with Facebook, Twitter, Google accounts, and that is technically free resources, although sometimes it gets overloaded. But like you kind of mentioned earlier, one of the ways that the Realm game is structured is that for the most part, people aren't having to worry about, resources. It's kind of running in the background and it's not resource extensive, right?
Right, absolutely. And that's one of the great things about it. And actually, if you look at the top right of your screen, you see the sound and the music icon. Well, there's a third icon now that looks kind of like a battery indicator. Well, Ryan, our developer, has added a low power mode setting. So users that have older hardware and they can't keep up with the graphics of the game, because again, like we've said, it is a game. We've actually accounted for that too. So if you don't have any resources in your wallet, whether it's no NFTs or not a lot of CPU or RAM, or if you're just running on older hardware and you don't think you can play, we're accounting for that as well. So there's really no excuse for anybody not to just jump in to see how the mechanics work.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I'm impressed. And again, go back and watch the demo, because it is like really a real live action game. So the missions are quite interesting. Like, you get some characters and you have to send them, and then you can earn Realm. And I want to know a little bit about the in-game store, because this is kind of the first that I'm hearing of it. So tell us about how the in-game store works and why it's useful to have it right there within the game itself, as opposed to having to leave the platform and do something else.
Sure. So there is currently our featured tab in our in-game store, which is showing the pack sale. Unfortunately, like we said, the pack sale is sold out. But there are 3 additional tabs. The helper tab, which is what was currently in season 1. You can purchase helper NFTs, which is the workers or helpers that you send on missions to help your leader out. Right now, they currently sell for 4,000 RLM per NFT. But there are actually mechanics in the game to make that cheaper. So as you progress in the game, you can actually get discounts on the items in the store. And actually, I purchased one this morning because I was training helpers for my daily mission, which is a new mission in season 2, which we can talk about. But I wanted to train a 6th farmer, and I only had 5, so I actually bought a farmer in game, and the NFT was available right then, right there in my wallet. I could use it in game, and if I so chose to, I could just jump on Atomic Hub, turn around and sell it on the secondary market. We have a new tab called Equipment, and this one's a little different. The Helpers tab, you can pick which helper you want to purchase. The Equipment tab, it's also 4,000, but it is random on the equipment type you get. So there's 7 new NFTs called Equipment, which will boost the stats of your leaders. And there's different rarities. And so the 3 that you have a chance at getting in game is Common, Rare, and Epic. So I actually was talking with a user from our Discord, and he missed out on the pack sale. He said, "How do I get equipment?" And he said, I told him about the in-store purchase. He used 4,000 Realm, and he got an Epic NFT right away. He said, "Well, I guess I'm glad I missed out on the pack sale because this is all I wanted." And then we have our boosts tab, which, like the helpers, you can pick which one you want, whether you want a common, rare, or epic. And the boosts will they're consumable NFTs, so you burn them in game to give yourself a boost, whether it's increasing the amount of RLM you earn, whether it's how fast you train your helpers to send out on missions to complete them quicker. But those can all be purchased in game as well.
I'm fired. Sorry, I was pulling up a different screen and I thought I was pulling up the right one. My apologies.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. Here we go. Right. All right. Yeah. So if you go on over to Nifty Blocks and you search for the Realm NFT collection, you'll be able to find it. So there's a, like all of these packs have ended, but you can go over to the market and you can see what people have. A lot of these are the leader cards, right? I mean,
right,
and the artwork. I'm pretty impressed with the artwork. Like,
it's amazing.
It's a cool little dichotomy between the simpleness of the game, and I mean, like, don't take offense to that. I don't think a person like you would, but some people might. But like, the simpleness of a game is really something I think that's underrated, right? Like, if we look at old video games like Super Mario Brothers or Sim City or even Tetris, right? Like, some of these old games, there's a really interesting cultural overlay or underlay that, like, connects us back to those weird days where we used to think that Duck Hunt was awesome. And it's probably more awesome now than it was then, just because of, the undertones and the people who got involved, right? So you have that, I think, in your game. It's easy to understand. Anyone can play it. It's more of a strategy game, right, than a first player shooter type of thing. So you don't need necessarily those high level defining graphics. But then you've mixed that with these NFTs that sit in your account that have the ownership rights with some just phenomenal art, which I think is pretty amazing. So you've got different rarities and things like that. Maybe if you want to touch base on the NFT line and what's different about the I don't know if you're calling it Series 2, but like, what's different about this last pack drop? Are there any like special characters that were involved or new things that are involved in the NFT side of things that weren't there from before?
Sure. So the only new NFT that was released in the Season 2 pack was the equipment type. So what you're seeing on the screen now, there's a couple of promo NFTs that actually do provide in-game bonuses, but most everything from Season 1 or rather everything from season 2 was available in season 1 except for the equipment. So like that boost card, for example, that was probably pulled from somebody's season 2 pack or purchased directly in game and then listed on the secondary market. But yeah, all the leaders that were available from season 1 are there was just not enough time to get a new leader or helper types into season 2. So I've been told that it's possible that there's one floating around in the background somewhere that hopefully they'll have time to implement for season 3 and beyond. But right now it was just the equipment, and equipment, it's a total game changer because it changes how efficient your leaders are on their missions. And so there's just another aspect of the strategy. Which equipment type do you buy? Which one do you equip? Which one do you not equip? So it's really one simple little change has completely changed the dynamic of the game.
And I mean, it's not unreasonable either, right? Like a price point of $4 to be able to get a farmer, to be able to get in there and complete some missions, and then like to earn realm on top of that. Like, I think coming from traditional gaming perspective, it's very reasonable, right? Like,
Oh, absolutely, I think so. And one of the things that I think makes this game unique is um, how we use the leaders in the game. So the developers early on made the leader rarity blendable. So you can take take 3 of the same leaders and the same rarities. So for example, you can take 3 1-star celebrities. You can hop over to Nifty. You can blend it, and when it does, it'll burn the 3 that you had in your wallet. It'll mint a new 2-star celebrity. So you can actually use the leaders that you already have in your wallet to get to the next rarity. And so with our pack drops, you never know what you're going to get. I was lucky. I think I got 1 5-star, but most everything I got were 2, 3, a lot of 1-stars. And so to earn more realm and to have a leader that had better perks, I hopped over to Nifty Blocks. I used the blend feature. So now most of mine are 4 and 5-star leaders, which the burn mechanics are pretty cool. And there's actually on our website, one of the future enhancements, the roadmap of where we want to get is we actually want to move some of that blending in game so users don't even have to hop out of the game to complete the same task. So don't know when that will be implemented, if that's going to be in this year or next. I mean, Realm's going to be here for years to come. So but I am excited to see that piece implemented in the game as well.
I mean, and like for me, that seems really like the next logical step, right? Like, I mean, when you this is going to be a weird parallel, but I'm going to do it. When you you go to Walmart. I don't go to Walmart. I don't support Walmart. But anyway, you go to Walmart and you buy a video game, right? I don't know. I don't even know what video games cost these days, but you spend like $80 to $90 on a video game. You come home, you plug it into your PlayStation, you play the first level, and you get like, some sword or something. And then you have to go back to Walmart to redeem your sword to be able to use it in game. I mean, it's ridiculous when you think about it that way, right? But this is kind of how a lot of blockchain games work, right? You just have to leave the game, you have to leave the platform, and you have to go somewhere else to be able to, upgrade to bring it back there, right? Now, of course, we're doing it from home and you're on a computer and you can have 2 windows open at the same time, but it interrupts the gameplay, right? Like it interrupts your experience, right? So again, if you're able to do that from within the store of Realm, that's quite fascinating, right? It becomes more almost like a Zelda-like experience where, between the levels, you can wander into the store, you can pick up, stock up, the things that you're going to need to do the next level. As opposed to like, having to walk out of the house and go and do something else, right?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And, during our pack sale, we actually had a link in the store to link out to Nifty Blocks, and that one little link made a huge difference for our users, because I can't even count how many times I had to paste a link to the Nifty Drops or the Nifty Block Blend website so people can go blend their leaders, and this this one simple link made all the difference. We would just say, hey, go to the in-store game, click on blends, or click on unlock, open your pack, and it'll take you to Nifty blocks. And that the satisfaction from our users was already up just from adding a link. So yeah, if you can accomplish everything in game, I think that's just going to be a huge win for Realm overall. But yeah, no, I get your analogy perfectly. Even though it's all at our computers or on our phones, it is like going back to the store to use the item that you just purchased in your game. So that's huge. But at the same time, everything that will be done in game will still be able to be sold on the secondary market. So users that are just grinding the game to buy NFTs to flip them, that's always going to be available, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah, and I mean, like, sometimes it can be annoying, but again, I think if you're a real game out there that's building stuff and you have a user base that's enjoying, playing the game, then a few flippers isn't going to be make or break for your project. Right?
No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a question here. Maybe we can touch into that. Is there going to be promo NFTs for season 2?
I don't have the answer to that. I don't know if it's even been brought up. I'm going to see if Kirsten, she's already typing. She must be watching. Yes. Promo NFT season 2 releasing tomorrow. Okay. So if you're on our Discord, be watching for the announcements, because sounds like Kirsten has got your back already. Thank you, Kirsten.
Okay, I'm going to do this too. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I can't help myself. So let's plug it in. Because, even just coming in to the game now, which is a couple weeks later, you've already got a couple changes that are coming, talking about season 2. So yes. Again, I just opened Realm NFT. I used my Anchor wallet to log in, and I'm good to go. All you need is a Wax account, and you can get one for free. And you can walk into here and you can play, right? Like, I think the value add for being able to build a game on Wax and the easy plug and play characteristics, especially with things like social logins. And like, if you're a hardcore blockchain, guy where you need to own your own keys and do all of this and that, I get it. But that's probably good for an account where you're collecting or you're holding assets that have real world value, right? Like, right. I think in terms of playability, social logins and the ability for regular people to connect without having to download a whole, direction manual and worry about scammers stealing their stuff. Yes. If you could maybe just give us your thoughts on how this could potentially change the way that gaming is done, for the real world. I'd be curious to see that.
So I actually entered the Wax space through just the collectible aspect. I actually didn't know much about the gaming aspect, the gamification of NFTs, and Uplift was actually one of the first things that I looked into. But whether it's crypto trading, whether it's downloading MetaMask or using Anchor, there is a learning curve for people that just want to play a computer game, or somebody who just wants to dabble in the space. And like you said, it's so streamlined now. You go to the wax.cloud and create an account, and whether you use a social media link or use a user email login, you're done. And then when you go to our game and you log in with that Wax account, you can authorize it one time, or you can have it automatically log you in, and you're already playing a Wax blockchain game. And there are so many games out there that you have to jump through hoops. You have to figure out how to buy the NFT if you're not familiar with the NFT space. You have to figure out how to convert your crypto, or you have to figure out how to get fiat into crypto to buy your NFTs. With our game, it's almost plug and play, like you said. And I think the last time Realm was on your show, we talked about we just had Google Play release the app onto the store. And as of this week, it is now available on the Apple Store as well. So we're on Google and Apple. And you can actually test the game out on your device without even needing a Wax wallet. It has all the same mechanics. It has the same Jane and John leaders that are already going to be in your game. And it's going to come with one worker. So anybody, if they have a cell phone, can play without even a Wax account. You can play as the device. There's a button on the app that says play as device. You click it and then you're in the game. So
that's really cool. So I guess the difference there is you won't get, any rewards and tokens and stuff like that, right? But
sure,
you can still just go and experience the gameplay, which it's interesting because I was actually having a conversation, with Corey and a couple other people, over the last couple of days. And that's our biggest, the Uplift world, I think our biggest hurdle really is that a lot of people put together really fancy promos.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you guys might have a similar thing, but we watched the promo at the beginning of the show and that all looks great. I've seen that promo 1,000 times in the last year. The same one from 100 different projects, 1,000 different projects. I've seen the exact same thing.
Sure.
The difference is your promo actually works. It's a game that can actually be played. It's a game that people are actually in there and enjoying, right? And I'm not trying to knock any other project, but
no, sure,
there's
absolutely.
so many promos out there that look great, but they're not actually usable. When you go into those blockchain games, you click a button and you're done for the day, right? Or you click a button and it's not that, right? And so I think sometimes what we have problems with in this industry is a lot of people are used to waiting, for something to be developed. Like in your case, in our case, it's already developed, right? Mm-hmm. Our problem in the Uplift world, realistically, is that we have a little bit of a hurdle, in that you have to use Minecraft Java to connect to the Uplift world, and that means that you need a user account from Microsoft, right? And that's kind of above and beyond us. So not only do you need a blockchain account, but you need that other account. So to get people to actually realize that, like, when you come into the Uplift world, that it actually exists is a little bit more of a hurdle than what you guys are doing. And we're working on ways to solve that, obviously, right? And if we could, we would love to just give everyone in the world a free Minecraft account, right? and plug them all into that. But realistically speaking, that's our one thing that we have to kind of deal with. Now, for you guys, the only real, and that's awesome that people can come in and play even without a Wax account. That's cool. I didn't know that. But for you guys, the only hurdle might be, because I just want to ask about this. I think some other players might know. I came over here to the shop, which is, down here in the bottom corner. And we can, go in here and we can look at helpers, which I'm probably going to need. Now, right now, everything in the shop is listed for Realm.
Yes.
And you can see here, the soldier, the farmer, the doctor. Now, if I go here and I click on this to, I don't know, let's buy a farmer. Are you sure you want to purchase this helper for 4,000 Realm? I don't think I have any Realm in my account.
Right.
So how do I get Realm? And where is the best place to do that if I'm new to the game and I don't want to, grind for 3 or 4 weeks to be able to, up my Realm balance?
Sure. And to quickly touch on our promo app before we move on to that is, it's not available now, but we are being told that they're working in the background to link, if you start a free play as device account, the future goal is to actually allow you to sync it with a Wax account if you create the Wax account after you've already started playing. So it's not available now, but that is something that is on our future roadmap. So we're really trying to tie in the aspect of promoting it and being able to continue on once you get addicted, like everybody does.
I love that idea, right? Like, and again, this is where I think, like, what you guys are thinking about doing with this is fascinating, because you need to feed the addict enough to get them in the room to understand that, like, hey, wait a minute, I don't want to play this game for free anymore. Like, that's the ultimate direction of blockchain gaming and what we need
Yes.
to do as an industry to promo it, because the gaming industry essentially is a bunch of people giving money to, you know, game developers. It's great. Game developers do a great job, right? But they're
Sure.
giving money to game developers over and over and over again, right? They're feeding the monster. They're feeding the
Yes.
industry, right? Where we have the ability to kick back to users in the blockchain industry, right? And so the fact that you could bring somebody in, they could be addicted, they could go like 3-4 weeks or even a whole season, and play Realm NFT, and then when the next season opens, be like, hey, wait a minute, I just realized that I can actually get paid to play this game, and plug into their pre-existing account without having to start the whole process over is really quite amazing, right?
And that's a perfect segue into your last question of how to get Realm in game. If you know, even if you have been grinding and, you know, maybe you just need to top off your account, you don't have quite enough to get that helper that you're wanting. So if you want to actually close the store, I can show you the window that will. So just click the red X on the store button right there. So at the top of the screen where it says salary, it's got that exclamation mark next. So just click on salary right there.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe click on. Let's see. Oh yeah.
Apparently, because I haven't.
because you haven't completed any mission. So that's actually one of our
it's been a while since I've done it.
So essentially, what you'll do at a window will pop up and it will show you your Wax wallet and it will show you your in-game wallet. So if you have Realm on your Wax wallet, you'll click the salary icon. You'll list how much Realm you want to move from your Wax wallet into the game, and you click deposit. It takes up to 10 minutes, usually 3 or 4 minutes, and then it's in the game. And if you're earning in the game, there's actually a withdraw button. So if you've earned Realm in the game and you want to send it to your Wax wallet to trade it, you can do that as well. But if you don't have Realm in your Wax wallet, it's currently tradable on Alcor, exchangeable Wax to Realm. So if you're not familiar with Alcor, it might be a bit of a learning curve. They do have a pretty interesting swap feature where you don't have to worry about bid ask. You don't have to worry about buy and sell orders. You just you link your wallet in Alcor. You say how much Wax you want to trade. You mark Realm as the asset you want to trade for. You click swap, and it's ready to be pulled into the game.
Yeah, and I like, again, this is pretty. Let's see. RLM.
Yep.
Right, there
just like that.
And it's a pretty easy exchange. All you have to do is essentially, you know, connect your wallet. You've got multiple options. Again, you can use, you know, Waxcloud wallet, Anchor, whatever. Once you do this, it'll show your balances and then you can swap it. Now, I want to touch back on that feature that you talked about, because I think that that's quite interesting as well. The whole fact that when you click on the button, your pop-up will allow you to move assets from your blockchain wallet to your in-game wallet. It reminds me a lot of how kind of trading works with your main account and your trading account on exchanges like Cooper, which is quite interesting. So
yeah, I've never made that connection, but you're right, it is very similar in that aspect of it. And that's actually, you know, if anybody has even been on our Discord for a few minutes, you'll probably see the question of, I've got 10,000 Realm in my Wax wallet, but I don't see it in game. And so they just haven't deposited it into the game yet. Or I just earned 10,000 Realm in the game and I don't see it in my Wax wallet. Well, they haven't withdrawn it yet. So it's
I mean, we all do that. So like our last liftoff event, like, you know, about a month ago, we did the liftoff sale, and I was like, I woke up in the morning and I was like, oh, the auction's over, I gotta go get. And I went and I looked and I'm like, why are none of my lands that I bid on in my wallet? Like, huh? But why aren't they showing up? And like somebody on our team's like, you did claim them, right? I'm like, no, I didn't. It's late. I didn't remember, right? So
and since you haven't completed missions, you weren't able to open the box. But the other cool thing, and remember I talked about those simple links in game that make our users happy. So we actually have a link in that pop-up window for the deposit and withdraw, which will take you directly out to Alcor, and it'll already populate Wax and Realm as the tradable assets. So you click the link, you connect your wallet, and you're ready to go. So again, simple links make people happy.
Right. I like, honestly, I kind of want to quit my job. Like, I like working for TheUpLift, but I've been thinking about this recently. I think I should quit, and I should start my own company where I can just play games and keep like a little bit of the profit for myself, and then get a salary on top of that, and like play them for other people, right? That are too busy to do it, right?
Yeah.
Like, because like, honestly, when you're in the system and you're building, like, it's hard to sometimes find time to do it, right?
Oh,
and
sure.
But there's some really fascinating things. But I will say, like, again, like, this is one of the most fascinating things that I've come across probably in the whole year, really.
Yes.
A game that actually works, like something that like is, there could be some thing deep within my head that like takes me back to those Sim City era type games where you can kind of go through, but it's almost like a choose your own adventure in a way, right? Like, there's probably a set number of possibilities that you can do, but you get to choose how you play the game, which I think is really, really, really different from those early games that we grew up with. And I think the ability to be able to profit from it or put money into it as you wish is really interesting, right? Like, we used to always go online and find the cheat codes. Now you don't have to do that. You can invest a little bit of Realm in there, and you can advance yourself further along the road, right?
Yes, and matter of fact, season 1, I played an entirely different strategy than what I'm playing in season 2, just because of the minor tweaks and the new equipment type. It's changed the game completely. So even though it's the same game, it feels totally different. And the other thing that's really great about our seasonal aspect is if you're just finding the game, it's not going to be too late. You missed out. There's too many whales in the game. No, the season resets, and then everybody is back to square one. They may have an upper hand because they have higher leader levels, but the leader levels are mutable attributes, and if you sell them on Atomic Hub, they stay with the NFT. So a little bit of an investment, and you're right on top with the rest of the quote unquote whales. But the other thing that you said about the nostalgia thing, I think Nintendo actually capitalized on what you're saying about some of that nostalgic old gameplay sim stuff with their Mario Maker. They picked their number one game that everybody loved, and they modified it just enough where it's the same game, but there's different variations of it now, and users can jump in. And that's kind of how I feel with this. Like, it's like you said, it's a nostalgic style game. There's the same end goal, but there's different ways to get there. And so currently I'm leveling everything really early in the game, whereas last time I just got the bare minimum built and tried to progress as quickly as possible. So it's going to be a different game every season while maintaining the same feel and look of Realm.
Well, and again, like, I like the fact that the prizes are like seasons or 6-week seasons, and at like the top 50 players have a share in 30,000 wax as a trophy and other prizes. And then, there's a little bit of an interim where it resets and you move on to the next season, which is really cool because I think it allows you to adapt and move and listen to the community and, figure out the best way to incentivize not only gameplay, but the development of, where the game is headed. So definitely, I dropped the link below. Definitely go over here to Realm NFT.io. And you can find, at the top, you can find the link to the Discord. You can plug in there, follow them on social media, do all of that. You watch the trailer. Again, click on the Play Realm button. If you need help with a WaxCloud wallet, I'm sure that they can help you in the Discord. But also, we have this handy little we have this handy little a guide that we created as well, that you can plug into this and many other Wax games as well. So yeah, definitely. If you have any questions, go ask Brian and the rest of the team. Like, I'm pretty bullish on what's happening here, and I'm excited to see how this season thing progresses. So is there anything else that you'd like to shout out, Brian, but before we let you go? And like, please come back, you or anyone in your team. Like, I love the fact that we just had you here a week ago, and now everything's changed again.
Yeah.
Right, so
I mean, just touch on one of the more talked about things in our Discord server is season 2. The mechanics are still the same, but the costs, the balancing has been adjusted based on user feedback. So if you're an active member of the community or have been an active player in Realm, that's where we get all of our information. That's where we get a lot of our inspiration. So if you have ideas, hop into our Discord server, let us know, hop into our Telegram. That's what we want to hear. We want feedback, and we just made a change today. So there's a new mission. It's a daily mission with high, it takes a lot more helpers. It takes a lot more time, and it takes Realm to attempt it. And we used the user feedback. They said that the Realm cost was too high. So there was a change made today based on your level in Realm. That's how much Realm you're going to pay to compete in the daily mission for those extra rewards, which could drop you one of the new equipment type NFTs. So we love hearing feedback. We take it very seriously, and I look forward to having everybody play it.
Am I going to get myself in trouble if I say, welcome to the world of Marxist gaming?
No, I think I'll let that slide.
Okay. If you haven't seen it yet, we'll watch this, and then we'll key you guys out. Yeah, I mean, this is just, Oh, wait, we already watched that. Oops. Where's the other one? Beta teaser, maybe?
I think that one's just the...
And I mean, as you can see, like, you just go in and you play around with it a little bit. Not much has changed since the early days, but you guys keep adding functionality, which I think is just really amazing. So really easy to get into, not something that you have to break the bank or the mind bank to get into. Right. It's really cool. And so, yeah, definitely go and like and subscribe to the Realm NFT channel. There's some really good things over here as well. It talks about helpers and talks about leaders and things like that. So I'll drop that link as well in the notes to the side. And yeah, again, like, please come back and keep us informed of all that's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. I'm going to... What am I going to do? I'm going to leave you guys with this. If you are an Ethereum project and you're interested in an embassy over on one of our Ethereum worlds, well, now's the time. Get in contact with me or Corey or somebody else over there in the Uplift World team. Do you guys have an embassy in Wax?
Not that I'm aware of.
How is that not a thing? Right. So if there's anyone out there in the Realm world that has Uplift plots, like, get in touch if you're doing something with Realm NFTs. I'd love to do a featured post about you guys and put it up on where we had all the alpha. That'd be really cool. Like, to have even just a display of the game or a build that kind of resonates with the maps or something like that. I got a few ideas around it, which might be kind of fun that we could put something together. But yeah, we're going to be branching out to all these different new blockchains, and I'm excited to see what happens when we get over to Ethereum and people can jump through a portal and find games like Realm on Wax, and then realize that, hey, wait a minute, I don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just to get started. So Ethereum, is coming soon. And thank you, Brian, for joining us, and we will see you guys all on the flip side.
All right.